Yo, yo, what is up? I am Isaac, a delusional Panthers fan. Welcome to Football for Fun. Today, I am your host as I bring you my official 2023 NFL Mock Draft No Trade Edition. So, no trades at all whatsoever in this mock draft. So, every team in their current position in the draft will be picking from there. So, Chicago will pick at 1, no trading down, nothing like that. So, it'll be fun. We'll see what each team goes for. And yeah, if you want a mock draft with trades, just let me know in the comments. Be sure to like the video, subscribe for more content, and without further ado, let's see what I've got here. All right, so with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Jalen Carter from Georgia. I do think this pick will probably be traded in all reality. I don't see Chicago holding on to this pick, but in this hypothetical no trade mock draft, I would have them select Jalen Carter. They do need some help on the defensive line. Jalen Carter is easily the best defensive lineman in the draft and possibly, arguably, the best prospect in the draft overall. In my opinion, he should be number one on the board overall. So, easy pick for Chicago here, in my opinion. All right, and at number 2, we have the Houston Texans. And for this one, I'm actually going to let Daniel decide who they pick because, he's the resident Houston Texans fan around here. So let's hear what Daniel has to say. All right, here we are with Daniel, who is going to give us the second pick for the Houston Texans.
Yeah. Sorry, did you get the first pick yet?
Yes. You weren't here for
Oh,
that. Jalen
yeah, no.
Carter is the first pick for the Chicago
Yes,
Bears.
Jalen Carter's first, which is good because the Colts didn't trade up.
No trade
Yeah, with
mock draft. Heck yeah.
right, this is no trade, and if no trades happen this draft, I'll be pretty happy for obvious reasons. But with the second overall pick, short quarterbacks, they've been an intriguing topic. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, they can see like ahead of their line or whatnot, but they can also run around. So with the second overall pick, the Houston Texans are selecting Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama.
Okay, fine. I wanted Bryce in Carolina, but whatever. He's not falling to 9. Yeah, Houston is definitely taking Bryce Young if he's available at 2. I would expect that if somebody trades up for that top pick with Chicago, then they probably take Bryce. But in this case, it's a no trade mock draft, and nobody traded up, of course. So with Bryce Young available at 2, I agree with that. I think Houston would pick him up. Okay, and at number 3, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who I have selecting Will Anderson, defensive end from Alabama. I think this would be a fairly easy pick for Arizona if Will Anderson is on the board, unless Jalen Carter is there. If Jalen Carter is available, then they might go with him. I think Will Anderson meets more of a need for the Arizona defense. They definitely need someone to get after that quarterback rather than focusing on the defensive line for now. But I could see them going either way if both players are available. But in this case, it's Will Anderson easily, without a doubt. For those of you who wonder if they might take a quarterback, I'm definitely not on that train. They should not take a quarterback. They should roll with Kyler, and they definitely want to focus on defense in this draft. So I'm going with Will Anderson here for Arizona. Okay, and at number 4, we have the Indianapolis Colts, who I have selecting C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State University, who I think is the number 2 quarterback in this draft without a doubt. He could be the number 1 quarterback in this draft, but Bryce Young, I think, is the better QB. C.J. Stroud might be the safer pick, given that Bryce looks like he's one hit away from just being out of the league indefinitely. So, C.J. Stroud, lots of potential there. I think it's a fantastic pick for the Colts. I don't think he falls below 4 in pretty much any draft. I think whatever happens, if there are any trades, no trades, whatever, I don't think he falls past the Colts. I think he's their guy if he's available there. So I have CJ Stroud to the Colts without a doubt in my mind. Okay, and now at 5, we have the Seattle Seahawks, who I have selecting edge rusher from Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. I do think they go with an edge rusher here. I do think they address the defense. I know some people like them, drafting a wide receiver here or later at 20. I don't think they go offense here. I think they're set at receiver, set at running back, and if they bring back Geno Smith, they're set at quarterback. There have been some recent rumblings of them going quarterback here. I don't think that's going to happen. I have my doubts. Geno should be their guy. So I think they will go defense here. Edge rusher Tyree Wilson, he seems to be the most popular prospect here at edge rusher. I don't know if he's necessarily the best, but as of now, I would say he's their likely pick. So let's go with Tyree Wilson to the Seahawks at 5. And then at number 6, we have the Detroit Lions, who I have picking up Devon Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois. Now, I do think they go corner here. I do think they need a corner here. I could see them going with Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama. but I think it's more likely they go corner here, and Witherspoon seems to be the best corner available. There is some debate about whether it would be him or Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, or maybe even Joey Porter from Penn State. But I think right now I would have them going with Witherspoon from Illinois. He seems like he's the best prospect. And here at number 7, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, who I have taking a tackle from Ohio State, Paris Johnson Jr. Unlike a lot of people, I do not think they draft a quarterback. A lot of people think they will take Will Levis here. No, I don't think so. I think they will address quarterback through free agency. I don't think they will draft one here. I think they wait until next season to do that. I don't know. I just have a feeling they're going to sign somebody like, I don't even know, somebody mid probably because it's the Raiders. They're not going to get anybody good. So yeah, I have them addressing the offensive line. They definitely need to do that. I don't think they draft any offensive skill players. I don't think they go defense here, although they could. I think it's more likely they would wait until later rounds to go defense here. For now, offensive line should be the main priority, in my opinion. So Paris Johnson Jr., definitely the best guy available for them. I think that's who they take. And now at number 8, we have the hated Atlanta Falcons, a great rival of mine. I don't actually hate them as much as the Saints or the Buccaneers, but here we go. Who do I pick for them? I think they go Stetson Bennett from Georgia. They need a quarterback. He's their guy. I hope they do that. That'd be great. Anyway, no, they're not going quarterback here. I think they are going to roll with Desmond Ritter. All jokes aside, I do think they will go with an edge rusher here. They'll go defensive end maybe. I think they're going to pick up Miles Murphy from Clemson. I think that's their guy. Recent rumors have said that they want him if he's there. I could also see them going with a different defensive guy. Like if he's available, they could go with Tyree Wilson, but I have him going at 5 to Seattle. It sounds like Miles Murphy is their guy. Obviously, that could be a smokescreen. Maybe they're trying to get somebody else to take him so they can get someone better. I don't know. I don't know. I think that as of now, I would say they're going with Miles Murphy, though. Although if they take Stetson, that would be fantastic. Please do that, Atlanta. Please. Please. Okay, and at number 9, we have my Carolina Panthers. And I am terrified with this pick. I am so scared we're going to take Will Levis. I do not want to see that happen. I want to go on record. I'm not a fan of Levis. I think he's going to be a bust. I see him as the next Zach Wilson. On the other hand, I think we're drafting Anthony Richardson here. That is my prediction. I think Carolina actually does like Richardson. I think there's a strong chance they see a lot of Cam Newton in him. And I think that our new coaching staff believes that they have the ability to mold and develop this quarterback. So I think they will probably sign somebody in free agency to start for a season. Maybe somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo. I hope not. Or maybe we bring back Sam Darnold. Please no. So we'll see. I think we're drafting Richardson here. I think he's the future of Carolina and probably, future 10-time Super Bowl MVP, but we'll see. We'll see. Whatever happens, keep pounding. Probably drafting Richardson here. That's my pick. And now at 10, we have the Super Bowl runners up, the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not often you see the Super Bowl loser picking in the top 10. Good job, New Orleans. You're dumb for this. You gave the Eagles a top 10 pick. They could really go anywhere with this. I had trouble figuring out what I think they'll do. I think that they will go with a cornerback here because they are losing James Bradbury in free agency, or at least it's very likely that they lose him in free agency. So I think it would be wise to go ahead and draft his replacement here. So they take who they think is the best available corner on the board, which would be Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. I think he's their pick there. He seems like a good corner. He could go in the top 6 if Detroit wants to take him at 6, but I had them going with Witherspoon from Illinois. So we'll see. I think they go with Gonzalez here from Oregon. I think they're going to go with a corner. I could see them going with a lineman here. I do not think they go with a receiver. They are stacked at receiver right now. They got Devontae Smith and they have A.J. Brown. If they want a third receiver, they can sign somebody or they can draft somebody later in the draft. They don't need to spend a top 10 pick on a receiver who will be their number 3. No. And I don't think that they are going to draft a running back. They don't really need to. They have Kenneth Gainwell as their running back now. I think they're going to let Miles Sanders walk. But they definitely will not draft a running back here. I do not believe that will happen. I think they go corner. I think they replace James Bradbury, and I think they'll be happy with this pick in Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. Okay, and with the 11th pick, we have the Tennessee Titans, who I have selecting a wide receiver. I don't think they go with a different position here. It's up for debate which receiver they take, but I do think their guy will be Quentin Johnston from TCU. Now there is some, question in taking a wide receiver from the Big 12. I can't name very many wide receivers from the Big 12 who succeeded in the NFL. The only one who comes to mind in recent memory is CeeDee Lamb. So, I don't love it. I'm not that high on Johnston like everybody else is. Personally, Jordan Addison is my top receiver in this draft, with Jackson Smith and Jigba being my wide receiver too. But yes, Johnston is a very good receiver. He has lots of potential. I think he is the Titans' top receiver here. I don't know why. I just have a feeling Johnston to the Titans is the pick. And then right behind them, we have the Houston Texans, who I will again send you over to Daniel for. I'm going to let him make the pick for the Texans here in my mock draft. And here we return to Daniel for the 12th pick in the draft.
Yes, so because of the brilliant trade we had, the Deshaun Watson trade, we have 2 first-round picks, never been better set up. And yeah, it's just been my philosophy every year that we had multiple picks. We take whichever player, best player, like this year, quarterback, at 2, and then we need a receiver at number 12. So with the 12th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC, right?
That's right. That's right. Transferred from Pitt.
Awesome. Yeah, I know something about college football. Let's go.
Let's
So
go.
yeah, he's going to be our next Andre Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, you name it. He's going to be our next Hall of Fame receiver.
All right, you heard the man. They're taking Jordan Addison, wide receiver from USC at pick 12. Jordan Addison is going to Houston to be the next DeAndre Hopkins. Probably means he's getting traded to Arizona in a few years, but whatever. Jordan Addison is my top receiver in this draft, so I think that's a really, really good pick by the Houston Texans here if that happens. I know a lot of people have Addison falling closer to the 20s, maybe even later than that. I don't understand that whatsoever. I think he is the top receiver in this draft, at least top 2 or 3. Um, I don't know. I like Addison a lot here in this draft, so definitely a good pick by the Texans. Good job, Daniel. You've nailed both of your picks so far. Okay, and at number 13, we have the New York Jets, and I think they need to draft a tackle here, so I am going with Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. I'm not sure if I said his name right. That's a fun last name, though, Skoronski. Yeah, nice, nice. Anyway, I think this is the way to go at tackle. I really don't think they can go wrong at tackle here. It's Peter Skoronski or Broderick Jones from Georgia. So I'm going to say they go with Skoronski for now. I feel like that's a good match for them. Plus, tackles from Northwestern, I feel like usually pan out well in the NFL. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. So yeah, they definitely need a tackle here. I would be pretty surprised if they didn't draft a tackle here, but they're the Jets. They're bound to do something dumb at some point, right? We'll see how it goes. And then right after them at pick 14, we have the New England Patriots. I also have taking a tackle. I think they will get whoever the Jets do not take. For now, I have them going with Broderick Jones from Georgia. I think he could possibly be the best tackle in this draft, but as a Georgia fan, I'm a little bit biased, just a little bit. But yeah, he's a very, very good tackle. I don't think he gave up many sacks last season. I'm not sure if he gave up any sacks last season. He was that good. So definitely a good pick for Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And yes, I do think they go offensive line here. I don't think they draft any weapons. It's the Patriot way. And then right after them at pick 15, we have the Green Bay Packers, and they're a tough team to predict here. They never, ever, ever draft receivers in the first round, and I don't see that changing here. I don't know. It's the Packers. What are you gonna do? So I don't think they go defense either. They've been going defense in the first round recently, and their defense is very solid. I think they need to do something on offense. I think they do need to add weapons, regardless of who is playing quarterback for them next season, which I don't think will be Aaron Rodgers, by the way. I think it'll be Jordan Love. So I have them drafting tight end Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. He is the general consensus top tight end in the draft. He isn't the most athletic, but he is a very good blocker and he can catch from the quarterback. So seems like a good pick to me. I think that's who they're going to go with if they draft a tight end. I don't know. I don't think they go receiver tight end. All right. And now at number 16, the Washington Commanders, I have taking Will Levis. He has fallen far enough in this draft. I personally don't like Will Levis. I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he's the next Zach Wilson, like I said earlier. So I don't think he's going top 10 here. I had him fall intentionally to 16. But I think if you're Washington, you see Will Levis fall here. You look at the quarterbacks you have. You only have Sam Howell. I don't know who else is on the roster right now, to be honest, but nobody good. I think it'd be hard to pass up on Will Levis here. So you can have him compete with Sam Howell. If he beats out Sam Howell, then give him a shot to start. If he doesn't, then well, that's just really embarrassing for Will Levis, and Sam Howell hopefully is the real deal. So, yeah, I think Washington will take Will Levis here if he's available, but we'll see. And then at 17, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State. He's a cornerback. I think that would be a fantastic selection for their defense. Um, I don't know if they necessarily need a corner, or I don't know if that's like their top need. I think they could go tackle or they could go linebacker. But I think right now there aren't a whole lot of like based on draft value. I don't see why they would go tackle. They saw the best tackles go off the board a few picks ago. And linebacker, I think it'll be a while before that value evens out. So they can get a good linebacker in like the second round. So right now, I think they go corner. I think they go tackle next round. So since they're going corner here, I have them taking the best available in Joey Porter Jr. And then at 18, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Brian Bresee from Clemson, defensive lineman. Now, this is a guy who could go in the top 10 potentially. He's good enough to go top 10. I think there are some concerns with his injury history, if I'm not mistaken. I think he tore his ACL in college. So concerning, but we've seen plenty of great athletes tear their ACLs or suffer terrible injuries in college or NFL and still come back and have fantastic pro careers. So I think Brian Bresee is possibly a hidden gem here in the draft. If he falls to 18, that is an absolute steal for the Lions, and they should be thrilled with it. At 19, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Osiris Torrance, a guard from Florida. I have no idea what to do with Tampa Bay. They have a lot of selections they could go with here. They have a lot of needs. I could see them drafting a tight end, possibly a guard, or somewhere, anyone on the O line. They could draft anyone on the O line. They could also go defensive line. But I'm gonna go with guard here. I I don't know what you do if you're Tampa. Like if it's me, I would tank if I'm Tampa. You got your Super Bowl with Brady. He's gone. You have a terrible situation with the salary cap. So take a year off, just tank, come back stronger in the future. But for now, I'm gonna say they draft a guard from Florida. And then at 20, the Seattle Seahawks return and they select Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh, a defensive lineman. I think they are going to go defense heavy in this first round. They selected an edge rusher at 5. They're going to go defensive lineman at 20. I think they do need to buff up that defensive line if they want to contend next season for reals. The offense is very, very good already. They just need to be more solid all around on defense. So a defensive lineman like Kalijah Cansey seems like a really promising pick for them, and it would flow right in with them. At 21, we have the Chargers selecting Zay Flowers, receiver from Boston College. I don't know a whole lot about Zay Flowers, but from what I've read, he would be a fantastic match for what the Chargers do. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I'm going to believe it for now. I'm gonna go with it. They're gonna draft Zay Flowers. It seems like a good pick. They do need to get more weapons for Justin Herbert. At 22, the Baltimore Ravens, as usual, have a gem fall right into their laps. They select Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver from Ohio State. I think he is possibly the best receiver in this draft, at least second best behind Jordan Addison, in my opinion. But he's got that potential. If he played last season, he's easily a top 10 pick, but he mostly sat out, was mostly injured. So unfortunate for him. Not a whole lot of tape on him last season. But we saw the same thing happen to Jamar Chase. He skipped a season in college, then went straight to the pros, and look at him now. So the Ravens have a history of having really, really talented prospects fall right to them when everybody else passes up on them. And it happens again here with Jackson Smith-Njigba. At 23, I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Kaylee Ringo, cornerback for Georgia. I will always remember you, Ringo. He caught the pick 6 for Georgia in the national championship game a few years back. That was fantastic. I'll never forget that. I went crazy when that happened. I don't deny that. So it might be considered a bit of a reach by some to draft Kaylee Ringo at 23, but I don't know. I have this weird feeling he goes to the Vikings at 23. I can't really explain it. I have a feeling. And also, this is a potential top 10 talent in Caleb Ringo. He should not be falling out of the first round. He could be the best corner in this draft. I don't know why people have him falling. Then again, I'm biased. I'm a Georgia fan. I own that. But now at 24, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Brian Branch, a safety from Alabama. And Branch could possibly go in the top 10, so this is kind of another steal for the Jaguars here. Could definitely go before 24, way before 24. So yeah, I had Brian Branch taking a bit of a fall here. I don't think safety is really that much of a priority for a lot of the teams ahead of the Jaguars here. So lucky break for them, I guess. The Brian Branch is available at 24. I don't think safety is really a primary concern for the Jaguars either. I do think that if Branch is here, they won't hesitate to grab him though. I think he would fit in very, very well with what they want to do on defense. So if Brian Branch is here, as I project him to be, you take him. And now at 25, we have the New York Giants selecting wide receiver Josh Downs from North Carolina. Now, Josh Downs could possibly not be a first round prospect here. It's possible he goes closer to the second or maybe even third round. But the thing is, the Giants, you got to take a receiver here. You're in desperate need of receivers. Not many people could name any of your starting receivers. The most popular receiver on your team was Kenny Galladay, and he's being cut because of how bad he was. So yeah, you definitely need receivers in New York, and if you're keeping Danny Dimes around, he needs somebody to throw to. A lot of people are trying to say the Giants need a tight end here. I disagree with that. I don't remember who their tight end is, but he seemed pretty good except for the injuries last season. I don't see why you would draft a tight end here if you could go receiver. I think Josh Downs has the potential to be one of the best in this draft class, but we will see. I'm going to go ahead and say the Giants draft him here because they need a receiver, so why wait? And here at 26, we have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Lucas Van Ness, an edge rusher from Iowa. So I don't know that that's really a position need for the Cowboys. I think they could use another edge rusher, but I don't think it's a primary concern. A lot of people want them to go receiver, but because they're not as desperate as the Giants, I'm not going to say they reach for one. I'm going to say they take the best available player in Van Ness, who could possibly go in the top 10. He could go at 5 to the Seahawks or at 8 to the Falcons. I considered both possibilities. But since he's here at 26, I think the Cowboys should pick him up. I think that would really make their defense even scarier than they already are. Now at 27, the Buffalo Bills I have selecting Bijan Robinson. The Bills definitely need a running back. I kind of think I've been thinking they might be a team that could trade for Derrick Henry, if he's on the trade block. So I don't know how this is going to shape out, but I do think Buffalo is getting a running back upgrade this offseason. And if they haven't signed anyone in free agency, if they still need a running back in the draft and Bijan Robinson is available at 27, I think you take him here if you're Buffalo. I don't think you reach for a receiver. I think you can get a good number 2 or number 3 later in this draft. And I think Robinson could help a lot with this offense. You can take some pressure off of Josh Allen. You can have another threat in the passing game because the dude can catch the ball and pick up yards after the catch. So definitely take Robinson here at 27 if you're the Bills, in my opinion. And then at 28, we have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. And for this, I think the Bengals just need to keep adding to their offensive line. That's continuously their one weakness, their one big weakness, I should say. You could also consider drafting pretty much any available cornerback to replace Eli Apple because, yes. But I think right here they're going to go tackle and they'll go corner later in the draft. So I'm giving them the best available in Anton Harrison. I don't know if he's really the best, but that's what people are saying. And the later we get in this draft, the less I know about these players and how talented they really are. So I'm just going to blindly believe what other people are saying. So Anton Harrison, tackle from Oklahoma to the Bengals. And now at 29, unfortunately, the New Orleans Saints have a pick here because of the Sean Payton trade. And I have them selecting Deontay Banks, a corner from Maryland. I don't know what the Saints are going to do. I don't feel like they're going offense. They always give me this vibe that they're going defense. I think they would be wise to pick a corner in the draft or maybe a defensive lineman. I don't know. I don't think they go quarterback. I don't think they're going to pick someone like Hendon Hooker or Tanner McKee. They might pick one later, but not right now. I'm going to say they upgrade the secondary with Deontay Banks. He seems like a really good corner from Maryland, and he would be pretty good on the opposite side of the field, helping out Marshawn Lattimore in the backfield. But I don't know. Whoever they pick, I hope he's a bust because I hate the Saints. Respectfully. And now at pick 30, we're back to the Eagles. It is a real crime that the loser of the Super Bowl gets 2 picks in the first round, but whatever. I have them selecting Nolan Smith, an edge rusher from Georgia. And I think this is just because the Eagles love picking up players on defense who can drop in, have some depth. And also they love picking Georgia players. Last year they took 2, I believe. So I think they go Nolan Smith here. I think that's a fantastic pick for them. Him and Hassan Reddick on the same defensive line getting after the quarterback could be really, really scary. And as a Georgia fan, I will confirm Nolan Smith is fantastic, and you are getting a steal with him if you take him at the end of the first round. All right, and pick 31, Kansas City Chiefs, finally closing out this mock draft. I have them selecting a defensive lineman, Mazi Smith from Michigan. I don't really know what the Chiefs are going to do, but I think their biggest needs right now are wide receiver and defensive line. A lot of people are saying they're going to pick a tight end here, which I think would be really tempting if you're Kansas City. But if you want to pick a tight end and have him play with or behind Kelsey, you may as well do that in the second round. I think right here you address an actual need. You could buff up the receiver room, but again, this wide receiver class is so deep that if you're the Chiefs, I think you can just wait and do that in a later round. So instead, I'm just going to have them address the defensive line and take the best lineman available and Mazi Smith, and that is my reasoning for that. All right, well, that is my completed first round mock draft of the 2023 NFL Draft, no trades edition. If you guys want me to do this again, but with trades, just drop a comment, let me know. This is my first time doing a mock draft on video. I've always written out mock drafts, and it's been far easier. But I don't know. I enjoyed this. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, let me know how it was. Leave a comment. Tell me who you think is going to be drafted where. I don't know. Hopefully, this isn't that terrible, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you want more content. We have plenty more on the way. We are just getting started here at Football for Fun. Take care, y'all. Have a good weekend. Bye.